Buckle up for a journey through the heights of ambition, the glamour of celebrity, and the wild personalities who shape the skies. This isn't just a story about an airline, it's about a 20th century icon whose spectacular rise and dramatic fall left a mark on aviation history. Get ready to discover one of the most iconic airlines and a cornerstone of modern aviation. This is TWA. To understand the story of TWA, we must go back to the sparkling 1920s, post-war years filled with progress, music, and fashion that revolutionized the mindset of Western society. Aviation was barely a teenager. Flying was eccentric, risky, and completely out of reach for most people. No airline had yet become firmly established. There were countless small operators across the country offering short-haul flights between nearby cities. That's how TAT, Transcontinental Air Transport, was born in Waynoka, Oklahoma, a small airline that transported mail between nearby cities and also carried a few passengers. Its story takes a turn when the visionary father of commercial aviation, Charles Lindbergh, saw the potential of the US heartland as a hub for flights connecting the East with the West Coast. With support from local businessmen, they managed to move TAT's headquarters from Oklahoma to Kansas, and so in 1929, the story of transcontinental flights began, and with it the origin of this great airline. The transcontinental route was a strange mix of night train and day flight. Let's say you want to go from New York to LA. You will start by taking a train to Ohio, to then fly on a Ford Trimotor to Oklahoma to take another overnight train to New Mexico, where yet another Ford Trimotor will wait you to take you to Los Angeles. Total travel time, just 2 days. The price of a one-way ticket, $352, about $6,000 in today's money. Definitely not cheap. And so transcontinental routes began, as did the fever of mergers that it's hard to keep up with. That same year, TAT merged with Maddox Air, which later merged with Western Air Express, forming Transcontinental and Western Air, or TWA. In 1934, Western Air Express split off again to become independent, but the name TWA stuck, so Transwestern Airlines, or TWA, kept the original branding. TWA continued to grow with its Ford and Fokker airplanes, and by 1934 it began adding the Douglas DC-1 and DC-2, predecessors of the famous DC-3, boosting efficiency and, more importantly, safety. TWA began consolidating as a major American carrier, offering the first coast-to-coast services, onboard meals, and professional cabin crews. But in 1939, a huge shift occurred. The arrival of the eccentric billionaire Howard Hughes to the company, someone we will definitely talk about it in another Air Stories. Hughes was famous for his remarkable aviation feats, his wild romances with Hollywood stars, and his struggles with mental health. As the owner of Hughes Aircraft, a successful manufacturer of military planes, he acquired TWA and ushered in a golden age for the airline. Under Hughes' administration, TWA expanded rapidly, dominating the US domestic market from its hub in Kansas City. And TWA was a pioneer in so many ways. It was the first airline to receive the beautiful Boeing Stratoliner, the first pressurized airliner, allowing for higher altitude flights with less turbulence and shorter travel times. But Hughes and TWA always had a powerful rival, Juan Trippe, founder of Pan Am, another icon that we will cover in another Air Stories. Trippe didn't like competition, and thanks to strong political connections, Pan Am held a complete monopoly on international flights, leaving TWA limited to domestic routes. This ended up benefiting TWA during World War II, as its domestic operations remained active, although it completed over 1,000 international flights for transporting troops and supplies. After the war, Hughes launched a fierce battle against Pan Am to achieve his dream of becoming a global airline. He fought to put his new Lockheed Constellations and later the beautiful Super Constellations into the European market, and changing the name to Trans World Airlines. After a long legal battle, real conspiracies, and others just in Hughes' tormented mind, TWA broke Pan Am's monopoly in 1946, beginning flights from New York to London. Though limited, this marked the start of its international presence, which expanded slowly until deregulation in the 1970s. The growth continued in the 1950s and 60s, with major achievements operating the first non-stop transcontinental flight piloted by no other than Howard Hughes himself, introducing economy class on transcontinental Constellation flights, launching the shortest transcontinental jet flights with Convert 8080 and 9090 aircraft, adding Boeing 727s for mid-range US flights, Boeing 707s for international service, becoming one of the launch customers of the iconic Boeing 747. In 1962, TWA opened the legendary Trans World Flight Center at JFK Airport in New York, a stunning architectural masterpiece with 26 exclusive boarding gates, cafes, restaurants, and premium amenities. Even today, it is considered a symbol of the 60s. TWA also became a pop culture icon, featuring movies, music, and arts. Onboard service was exquisite. Uniforms designed by Ralph Lauren, champagne, caviar, VIP lounges. TWA was known as the airline of the stars. But Hughes' obsession with beating Pan Am led the airline to make decisions based more on rivalry than real needs. They ordered massive planes like the Boeing 747 and later the beautiful Lockheed L-1011 TriStar. By 1966, after erratic behavior and bad decisions, Hughes, battling severe OCD, was forced to step down and sell his shares, ending his chapter with TWA. But sadly, his legacy left deep consequences. The 1970s were disastrous for both TWA and Pan Am. Fuel prices skyrocketed and TWA was flying its huge 747s and L-1011s nearly empty and at loss. The final blow came with airline deregulation, introducing a fierce competition from low-cost carriers. Operational costs soared, and a mix of bad decisions, inefficient fleets, strikes, mergers, and failed hotel acquisitions drove TWA into a huge crisis. It filed for bankruptcy under Chapter 11 twice in the 1980s, shrinking its market share. Despite all this, TWA staff remained loyal and committed, with many being minority owners. They consistently maintain excellent customer service and pride in the airline. And TWA remained innovative. It was the first airline to operate the Boeing 767's efficient twin-engine aircraft for transatlantic flights. With huge orders of Airbus A320s, MD-83s, and Boeing 717s, modernizing the fleet, restructuring routes, and showing a glimpse of a hopeful future. But in 1996, tragedy struck. On July 17, TWA Flight 800 departed JFK for Paris on a Boeing 747-100. Just 16 minutes after takeoff, a massive explosion tore the aircraft apart, killing all 230 people on board, becoming the third deadliest aviation accident in US history. According to the NTSB, the likely cause was a short circuit that ignited fuel vapor in the center tank. The lengthy investigation sparked conspiracy theories and media scrutiny. Public opinion turned against TWA, accusing it of flying aging aircraft, service quality drop, and flight occupancy plummet. In a desperate attempt to recover, TWA changed its corporate image, refreshed aircraft livery, and reduced routes. But after 11 consecutive years of losses, in 2001, TWA declared bankruptcy for a third time. But in this time, its assets, routes, and staff were acquired by American Airlines in a merger.
So this is the last day.
I know. This year
On December 1st, 2001, the MD-83 Wings of Pride operated TWA Flight 200 from Kansas City, where it all began, to St. Louis, TWA's final hub. That flight marked the end of 76 years of history. Like its arch-rival Pan Am, TWA failed to adapt to changing times, but its legacy is invaluable. More than 20 years later, TWA lives on. American Airlines operates a retro-painted 737 in TWA's livery as a tribute. And the Trans World Flight Center in New York has been transformed into the TWA Hotel, a living museum celebrating the story of one of aviation's most legendary companies. Though it no longer flies, TWA continues to inspire aviation lovers and remains a symbol of the golden age of air travel. Tell us, did you fly with TWA? What memories do you have of this wonderful airline? Is there anything we haven't mentioned? Let us know in the comments. If you like this video, subscribe and click on the notification bell. It will help us a lot.